Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. It's me, Digi, on a Monday. So yeah, in case you're looking, your eyes are not deceiving you. You are actually looking at FS 2020, which quite a few people are still using these days for reasons. So I'm here because I have a new gig. I am going to be working on some projects in Florida, and I'm not sure exactly how everything's going to work together. I'm not sure all that's required, but I'm happy to start this right now because it's going to take a little while to figure out. Tabletop Android, hello my friend, welcome back to the stream. Folks, if you're not familiar with my friend Tabletop Android, he's a friend of the stream. He is a fellow flat sim streamer, and he is fixing to get himself involved in some scenery dev, if I'm not mistaken. But feel free to click on my friend Tabletop Android and go give him a follow. Nice content. I have sat in on his flights and just brings another representation of just talent and fun to the community. Far from blender ready. Guess what, Tabletop? I was that way too many years back. So I feel you. I feel you. If you guys feel me, you feel me. If you guys hear me a little raspy or a little bit kind of like not 100%, I'm lol. If I'm just like I'm dealing with just finding a little bit back from my trip back this weekend, or just my time down in Orlando. I was in Disney and I did enjoy myself, but at the same time I probably picked something up on the way in. So I've just been taking plenty of liquids, taking my vitamin C, trying to see if I can just kick back whatever it is that's been bugging me. And I might go ahead and lay off the very warm liquids for a while, just so I can just keep drinking stuff. But what I might do is I might start making myself like more chicken soup, more like just warm, savory, um, salty things, like soup, to see if it actually helps me keep my throat nice and warm and happy. Which I might even do after I've done the stream. The stream's gonna be probably like maybe about an hour, a little bit more. That's about it. And I'm starting at a good time because then I can really just chill and take the night really easily. But, okay, if you're wondering what's up, we're going to do a few things. I cannot tell you who I am doing this for because I've essentially kind of given gentleman's agreement, and I consider that an NDA. I am basically creating some airports, not really creating airports, but enhancing airports for them. And I've got two places to check out today. I think I'm either going to check out Fantasy of Flight or the the area where there's a racetrack, Suntrax test facility. So I need to find where Fantasy of Flight is, and I've got it on a map. It is Lakeland, Florida. Fantasy Flight is outside of like greater Lakeland, Florida. So let me see if I can find Polk City, because I believe that'll give me a very good idea where I can go. All right. So here we go. Yeah, that's it. It's literally Foxtrot Alpha 08. The hangar is here. So let's go ahead and spawn in what appears to be a grass field. That's okay. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and switch slip into something way more appropriate for this kind of place, like say a shock ultra, and just make sure I'm good here. Okay. Oh, no worries. And yep, shock ultra. Select this departure. I'll set live because when I go to dev mode, it's gonna just, switch to daytime anyway. And I must have turned off multiplayer for some reason. I must have been trying to fly with real-time traffic the one day. Oh yeah. If if you didn't catch me, I was trying to recap the vacation. I think when I got back on, was it Saturday night? And I tried, and I was just like, my brain was melting, and I was just like, I was flying, and I was just like, okay, guys, I'm gonna go to bed now. Night. Which essentially is what happened. All right, let's switch time of day because I kind of want to see where I am and see what I'm dealing with first. And switch it. It's raining. And I'm trying to get my bearings, and I think that's the hangar that the classic aircraft are in. Let me also adjust my drone speed and see what we see. Okay, so this is Fantasy of Flight Airport, and I'm guessing this is the big, oh yeah, definitely. This is the big um, hangar where the aircraft are. Now, what I'm probably going to wind up doing is for Fantasy of Flight Airport, if it's what they want me to do, I will probably try to dress it up a little bit. And I'm just trying to figure out what this place is supposed to look like. But honestly, I don't like how it's so dreary right now. I'm just going to go ahead and go and disable live weather. That's going to help me. There we go. All right. So it's not light out right now. This is Eastern time and it's not clear, but you know, it is what it is. It's good. We are at Fantasy of Flight Airport and it's Foxtrot Alpha 08. There is a really big hangar, which is here, which I'm going to be adding on to, which is probably where the even larger aircraft are, but good things. I see that the the photogrammetric pictures are, for the most part, just almost like projected mesh. How do I choose whether to work on 20 or 2020, 24? It's really based on what the client wants. So the biggest draw right now is compatibility. The airports have to be playable in both 2020 and 2024. And the way to do that for me right now is to make sure that we develop in 2020 because 2020 is let me see. Airports in 2020 usually transfer very easily to 2024. Airports in 2024 do not transfer to 2020. So essentially, the problem is compatibility and time. So we need to create those airports in 2020 so they're forward compatible with 2024, and barring maybe an issue of you know, satellite image placement or apron placement, which is usually a pretty quick fix, you're okay. It looks like it used to have a water runway. Um, Quite possible. Although I think this is more like runoff areas. But T. Miller, welcome. Very happy to see you here. I wonder if they had a water runway out here in the lake, because this is a pretty big lake, and maybe they did. I mean, who knows if they didn't just dock up here and then take a vehicle back to the street or something. But I'm going over my list of things. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is eventually create or place static aircraft here. And as a matter of fact, since I'm here anyway, I'm going to start a new project. Let's see if I can make this easily enough. And we're going to call this FA08 Fantasy of Flight. We'll create a new project. And it's going to be a package, an airport, FA08 Fantasy of Flight. I'm just kind of, keeping it loosey-goosey. I'm probably going to be restarting this once or twice, so I'm not worried about losing progress. It's just like kind of like a first feeling this place out kind of deal. We're going to override the existing airport and we're going to create the airport. Now we're in dev mode. At least I think we're in dev mode. No, okay, we're not in dev mode yet. Let me I wonder. I think when I updated my SDK in 2024, it also updated it in 2020. I'm not 100% sure, but let me see. There's a BGL file. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead. Let's load this. Now I'm in dev mode. All right. So now we are doing dev the way I usually do it in 2020, which is by being in dev mode, manipulating the view, clicking on all these buttons and things, etc. So first thing I want to do is just jump straight into object placement, and I'm going to see if I can find some sim objects to try to replace some of these aircraft on a tarmac. So I'm assuming this is either a B-25 Mitchell or something like that. Let me see what I can find in terms of bombers. No, probably not. Hold on. Let me look up all, and let's start looking up B something. AIG models for like a whole bunch of traffic that I see, and Blackbird simulations, Bell. It would be Boeing, wouldn't it? Or something else. I don't know. Borneo elephant, anyone? And why is it sinking into the ground? It's quicksand. Ah! Okay, there is the other elephant. We have a Bonanza, which hasn't loaded yet. There we go. And Carrier, Cessna, Curtis. I think you're right. I think that's a B-24. Let me see if we have anything resembling that. Nope. Let's see. Sogan. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome. I'm working on a new project and trying to see if I can find where I guess, aircraft are. So we're going to focus on the Asobo aircraft. And yeah, I think you're right. It's a B-24. Also, sorry I didn't notice you before. It just gotta hit me. So I'm going to highlight all the Asobo sim objects. It's definitely not a fly-by-wire. And these are Microsoft aircraft and airports. I don't think they matter, but I'm going to go ahead and add them anyway, just in case there's some kind of like edge case where they name something different and it wasn't what it was supposed to be. Seafront, sightseeing vessels, no. Ready to watch someone else work now. Let's go. All right. Happy you came along, friend. Well, it's definitely not a yacht, and I'm not sure why it's blinking as much as it is. Yeah, it could be something with a load in. Right flyer, wing runner, and right catapult. Interesting. Velocity. Yeah, it's different. So, I don't know. I mean, I might have to see if it's possible to grab some libraries from somewhere and see if we can use them to create a scenery, but I'm not sure how this would work. Yeah. Hmm. Well, also, my defense, this is the first time I've really spent time trying to go through the sim objects libraries to find things. So, right now, the closest I might get to a B-24 is a DC-3. That might be what it comes down to. But I think at this point, short of that, I think I might have to. Oh, DHC2. What are you? Oh, yeah. Let's see. How many Blackbird? These are This is all DHC2 Beaver. And then we have the King Air, but it's not quite classic enough. Mm, NX Cub. I mean, we have plenty of small GA aircraft. So that might be what it comes down to. Let me grab the DC-3 again, and then we're going to drop it in. Did I go past it? I probably did. All right. So a somewhat dusty DC-3. I think I kind of like the way this looks. So yeah, you know what? Don't care. I'm going to set this up and start dropping objects into place. Also, where's my scenery editor? Oh, it's here. Oh, duh. There we go. All right. I was beginning to wonder why my layout was so messed up. So go back to objects, and we are going to add a dusty DC-3 here, and then we're going to manipulate this aircraft. So again, the whole point of this is just to get a visual representation of what this place is going to look like. I will most likely redo these apron textures anyway, so this may be more or less all we need. And I'm going to put some more DC-3s here, maybe some military ones. And let's see. Blue stripe. Come on. There we go. So, Blue Stripe, DC Direct, Emerald, Metal Classic, World Travel. I'm surprised that we don't have even fakey do military liveries for this. But we'll make do. We'll make do. It looks like they might have a Ford Tri-Motor. I might have that installed. So, let's see. Emerald, metal left, metal, red and yellow. Ooh, that's actually quite nice. But it doesn't line up with any of the ones that we have here. So we'll do a white one here, just for fun. And I'll start kind of placing these. Are these actual... Oh, good. These actually are puddles. Cool. So I'm going to add another one, and it's going to be here. There we go. And we'll move that into place. And then, do I have a tri-motor? I don't think it's installed. No. Okay. So, what other aircraft did we have? What did I see? A DHC-2? Right. Blackbird simulations. Or was it? Here we are. Floats. No floats. Show me this one. Okay. So, you are considerably smaller than the other ones here, but I feel like you still have a place at the table. Let's do Milviz, and let's do you. You know what? No. I think I like that one. It's interesting how when these planes snap to the ground, their wheels are this plane's wheels are kind of buried. And it's not because of the photogrammetry. I'm not sure what's going on. But we'll do what we can. I'm not going to overthink this. This is just a kind of default placement. So, let's see. Were there any other planes that were here? No, not really. Plenty of hangars and such. And it looks like we've got quite a bit of elevation change. But we can probably get rid of that by zooming up and away and then coming back down. And back down. There we go. And there we go. Problem solved. All right. So I guess it depends. I mean, in one sense, you kind of don't need a grass runway. I might create an invisible apron and then or create or like recreate the thing from scratch like I usually do and then add some objects to it. But it depends on the time that I have. I might just work with the default assets that are here, and if I can try to remake some of these buildings, I might. I don't know what this is. I'm not sure if this is a plane that has its wings tucked in or if it's like a helicopter. So let's assume let's assume this is an FA-18. Well, that would make no sense. What is an FA-18 there than a grass strip? It doesn't. It would crash. So that would be a bad idea. I'm not sure. This could be a pushback truck. Let's do pushback white. Okay, I'm going to assume that's what it is. And then we're going to go ahead and place it such that it's where it's supposed to be. I wonder if it falls into the water. Nope. It's got anti-gravity tires. What? Uh, you know what my problem is? I use the sim object version of this. This is actually moving. I need to use the non-sim object, just straight up scenery stuff. This is Fantasy Flight. The location slogan is Foxtrot Alpha 08. It's drawn to the water. Clearly, it's drawn to the water. That's interesting. So let me try looking for pushback truck. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta do this. I think here it should be base. Give me a white pushback truck. Okay, this one is definitely stationary. There we go. Oh, tabletop. It's probably because I didn't give him one, so I apologize. I do not believe that I don't believe that Sogan streams on Twitch, but Sogan does actually put out content on YouTube, which I have watched. So if you want documentary content with a different slant than you might be used to, like interesting topics with regards to military aircraft and flight sim reviews that I've seen, go check out Sogan. Sogan on YouTube. Sogan, feel free to drop the link to your YouTube channel in chat, and that way folks can check you out and subscribe. And no tabletop, it is not moving. It is stationary. All right, so there's plenty of stuff that's here, and I think really it's going to depend on how much detail I'm going to put into this airport. But clearly, as well, I'm going to start categorizing a little bit, and we're going to call this default assets. Okay, and then we're going to start another folder, and we're going to call this aircraft. And now I should be able to move this into aircraft, and I should be able to target multiple ones as well. Oh yes, plug away, my friend. Happy to promote your content here. It's definitely made me stop and think. So, thank you. All right. Now, oh, of course, excuse me. I am going to do a little bit of excluding. So we're just going to create something really fast to get rid of some of this stuff, which is here. Just a very basic polygon. And we'll say tree exclusion 1. And put this in its own group. Polygons. And put this in its own group. Vegetation exclusion. And then there we go. And now we have tree exclusion 1. And tree exclusion 1, we can do vegetation and set density to 0. And then blammo, the density is, the vegetation is gone. Okay. I have absolutely, positively no idea what this is. None. So I'll leave that alone for now. It's interesting. I'm not sure if there was photogrammetry here, which a recent Azure AI update just squashed. I'd be very interested to know if there was in the past and exactly how it was fixed. I'd be interested. As it stands, I'm probably either going to put a new apron texture over this, or I might actually put some objects over this, kind of like I did with the planes. But that gets rid of the trees that are right by the highway. And what I can probably do is put some fence, some very basic fence around here, just to say we did. At least I think. So, put it this way. I'm not going to sweat the details at a place like this for one big reason. We're dealing with photogrammetry. I'm also probably going to take a look at that very quickly to figure out whether or not there's going to be a lot of extra work involved to make sure photogrammetric and non-photogrammetric versions of this airport work. I'm not sure how everything's going to go down, but I will have custom objects. And fortunately for me, because a lot of the photogrammetry is outside the airport grounds, I'm not really going to have to worry about, oh, well, there's this big immovable blob that I can't touch. So I'm happy that it's in a better place. I think I'll skip for now, Tabletop Android, but thanks for making me laugh. All right. Now, the thing that I don't understand about grass runways, but the thing that I'm apparently seeing is that there seem to be these kinds of like white markings on the sides of the grass strip. I think I know what they are. I just forget what they're called. So let me see if I can find them. Okay, those things are. So, no. Okay, let me look again. Keep it simple. Oh my word. So apparently 737s used to land on grass runways in British Columbia. Wow. Okay, but there's a reason why I'm looking at info online. I want to find out what those things are that go aside those runways. But since I'm not finding anything online, let me just go ahead and jump right back into scenery and see if I can find something. They're most likely going to be on FS base. And let's see if I can find grass. Grass kit. What is this? Okay, I don't see anything. Oh, there we go. Interesting. It's almost like it's just this patch. Okay, I am noticing some elevation changes, which is interesting. I keep saying interesting. I mean it. Oh, wow. What in the world is this? It's like a blob of topography. It kind of looks cool. Looks like a really, really moldy bit of Sloppy Joe. And now I've ruined someone's dinner. I apologize. Ah, TBF Avenger. Thank you, friend. Well done. Okay, so out rocks. That's not what we're going to be using that for. Rock grass. Wow. That sure ain't going to be used. All right, so let me think. What are those things called? Bones aside grass runways. Okay, so I think they might literally just be called cones. So let's see. And just for specificity, that's the silver one next to our B-24. All right, let me check. Ah, okay. I don't think we were talking about this one, were we? No, because I think it's an overwing aircraft. And I'm pretty sure we're not talking about this one because the wingspan's too big. I think it's like an amphibious plane. That looked more like a DC-3. So by process of elimination, we have to be talking about this plane here. Exactly. Exactly. Because the TBF Avengers were World War II era aircraft that launched from aircraft carriers and they had folded wings. Yep. Okay. I might not know everything, but I know a thing or two. All right. Now, getting back to the runway deal, let me go ahead and see if I can see a cone. All right. Now, cone red, cone small, cone full medium, and cone full. Okay, these are construction cones. So no, I need we call them. I know they're called cones, but what else are they? Mhm. A how-to guide. So what is that? Cones and markers. Aerodrome cones and markers. Let's see if I can find the marker. Going through their entire list. Nice. Go get them. Burn mark, touch point marking. Interesting. Boop. It's like dropping a sandbag or a target in a firing range. All right. Okay, so it wasn't that. What is this? Are you kidding me right now? They actually have wig-wag lights? Well, no, they did. They always did. I just customized them when I was trying to work on Kissimmee many years ago. That's pretty cool. Um, Yellow cone. So I guess they're literally called yellow cones, but I don't understand. Hmm. Or could I find a single color cone and paint it and just bury it? No. All right. Let's just go through all this. Container, fence, fuel station. Runway. Runaway corner? No, that makes no sense. Those are lights. Runway tips. Oh, hold on. Yeah, yeah. It depends on the, I guess the height. So no, that's not it. Not street lamp, not tarmac, not tarps. Oh, that is interesting. Taxi helper. Telecom tower. Whoa, that's not it. So, traffic, tree, a water runway out on the lake. So you were right. That's interesting. That's, yeah, I'm not finding what I'm looking for. I wonder if those things come out when you actually pick a grass runway. I'm not sure. Straight sweeper. Aircraft caddy. That's nice. And that's a kind of like interesting. Oh, a mirage. I get it. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure why I can't see those things so easily. No, I think this is something that, yes, it was a mirage, at least in the sim. And honestly, this looks very realistic, or at least reminiscent of what I used to associate with mirages. So, yes, it is a mirage. And yeah, the cones they have are basically, they come in no other configurations. So, okay, that's taking up a good chunk of my time, so no worries. It's either something that you can add on when you actually create the runway, or they have custom objects which they plug into their sceneries when we deal with grass strips somewhere in the sim. A Mirage F1. You're probably right. Stand by one, folks. Hold on. I see the checkered tower, and I think I'm probably going to redo ground textures, add some default objects, maybe redo these buildings. I don't know. Um, the project is going to be for, you know, like mid to late winter of 25. So I'm going to, it's not like I don't have to go, oh, I have to build everything right now. I don't. But I'm kind of gauging the work required, and I might be doing a bunch of things come the first few weeks of January. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to save this project as is, and we're going to hit build all. Right now, all I've done is exclude some trees and add some static aircraft. So the airport pretty much functions as it did before. I haven't even I haven't even deleted the usual stuff that I do. So, good enough. This is actually hilarious. That's the first time I ever had the the editor go from day to night. And I think that's the mystery solved for me, because when I was trying to do scenery development in FS 2024, I chuckled because it would always turn dark out. Whereas before, all the SDKs used to go to a daytime. Yeah, that's strange. Okay, so that's Fantasy of Flight kicked off. Let's go and see if we can find somewhere else. I'm going to be looking next for the SunTrax test facility. So let me see if I can find it. SunTrax test facility. Oh, wow. Um, this looks interesting. Whoa. Okay, so it's just south of where we were, literally. So I could probably add it as a package. I don't necessarily have to even go back to the main menu. So if I am looking due north right now, let me get my bearings, chat. All right, Fantasy of Flight, that hangar's kind of pointing up in that way. So yeah, I'm looking in the right direction. If I look south and then reorient myself, that was strange. All right. So where is the test tracks facility? I think it's down there. What does it look like? Actually, it's more this way. There's a big lake. Oh, duh. I see the highway, and I think the highway goes right past it. All right, I got to pay attention because it's not modeled at all. So I got to pay attention to the interchanges. And I see this interchange. And then after that one, let's see. There's a lake on the northbound side. Yeah, okay. So literally, this piece of land right here is the place. There's a It's old. This photogrammetry is old. The SunTrax facility doesn't even exist in the sim, so it has to be modeled. Okay. This might be the first time that I actually create a scenery pack which contains a couple of different objects or points of interest. So I have to figure out how I'm going to model this. I have to figure out how I'm going to override the photogrammetry. Good news is this is just probably what looks like, well, with the exception of these chunks, I'm not sure how I'm going to get rid of them. So we'll cross that problem when we get to it. But I do think this is precisely where it is. So yeah, you come up from there. There's like a road by the trees. And then there's this. I think there was an old um, traffic circle. No, these roads were meant to be bigger, or at least they will be bigger. Is it a two-lane road? Yes, and then it becomes a kind of like divided road going out to the lake. But it wasn't modeled. I'm not going to go nuts with detail, but I am going to have to put it out here. SunTrax Test Facility Toll Operations. Interesting. Well, okay, it's probably going to be used for navigation. So, yeah, it has to be built. That's something I'm probably going to spend more than a few streams developing or working on. And of course, let's go find Kilo Lima Alpha Lima, a big airport, Lakeland Airport, Lakeland Linder International Airport. Okay, now we have a general aviation airport and we have what appears to be a terminal. I do not know the size of the airplanes that actually serve Lakeland Linder International Airport, but based on the overhead, it looks like either I don't know, something that resembles a 737 or like an A319. They probably have air stairs. And this is a fairly chunky airport. But I'm probably going to be working on it. Not, I'm sorry, potentially not starting over unless I do decide to start over, which would be cool, but it's going to be more of a time sink if I do more than I'm relatively supposed to, if you take my meaning for it. Let me go ahead and fall back to the main menu and then just jump into Lakeland. We'll take a look at it. And I've been having fun, and I just realized it's going to be about an hour soon. This is how good streams go. Like you get into it, and then you're like oh man, like the rest of the night's coming. It's already 10 o'clock my time. So Lakeland Linder International. Here is the airport, and we've got plenty of ramp spots. So I'll pick a ramp spot here. Actually, no, let's pick a ramp spot here. Just in case. Just in case there's real-time traffic, which I'm not expecting, but we'll give it a go. Yeah, that soup's going to be really good once I wrap up. Interesting. That just kind of showed up out of nowhere, but that's okay. Let's go back to real time. Well, not real time and not real weather. And then we will just tool around a little bit. This is the apparent main terminal at Lakeland. Excuse me, I'll say this right off the bat. I am not a big fan of the multi-story approach here. Um, the parked cars I can practically totally forgive because their textures are so much sharper than the 3D cars that normally have like many more polygons. I will say this off the bat and defend it. I prefer lower poly traffic based cars to the incredibly blurry textures that for some reason I can't seem to get past with the park cars that I put in. I'm not sure why. I can't figure it out. But honestly, I think I'm going to go back to using sharp textured traffic cars until I figure out why the park cars that I use don't work. I think there are different cars in FS 2024 as well, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. But the airport terminal layout, the ground apron textures are like default. The terminal is default. I'm not sure. I think the AI assumed there were going to be a plethora of spots based on maybe satellite image. Well, I'll give you a big fat for instance. Um, so let's see. There should be at least one big SUV in here somewhere. Okay, so this is traffic car 01. It's a different color. This is like yellow. But yeah, for example, this is traffic car 01. The 01 is the SUV. And if you take a look at any scenery that I have where I use the more fully modeled version, it looks way blurrier. And I mean, like, if texture if texture sheets are going to be universally low quality, I would have expected these cars to have worse texturing as well. But I mean, they're good. They're actually sharper than the 3D modeled cars. It's a Cadillac. Is it? Well, not this one, but I thought I saw a Cadillac logo. Nick, welcome aboard, my friend. Very happy to have you here. Man, I'm grateful for you guys stopping by and saying hi. Nick is a fellow friend of the stream and also a fellow flight sim streamer. If you like to see people fly big, heavy airplanes, on and off that sim, and you like seeing things on X-Plane 11 as well as MSFS, give Nick Gressler a follow, a recommended watch. I like to stop in and say hello from time to time. Sometimes I like to just have his the airplane, flight in the background while I'm doing stuff because it's a nice thing to listen to. But yeah, definitely, you're welcome, my friend. We are shopping around and taking a look at locations for an upcoming project, Nick. I have been requested for some work at airports in and around the Lakeland area. And it's entirely possible that I am going to be working on Lakeland Linder International Airport. I'm guessing this was a oopsie by the AI. So that's good. That's good. We can probably fix that if we choose to, and I probably will. So I guess it's going to depend on how much time and how much effort it's going to take for me to do all these things. Yes, you're right. Lakeland, Florida. And I did spend time in Florida recently because I went on vacation, and my friends, my family, and I went to Disney World. Can I zoom in to Disney at 250 speed from here? No. I think just gonna be easier for me to. I think it's gonna be easier for me to um, either teleport over there or do like a slew. Um, you're gonna want to be careful about where you drive on the left side of the road, tabletop. There are a few select areas of the world where that's possible. Not all over the place, though. I mean, you know, I'll give the computer that. It's entirely possible that the algorithm just said, throw it down. And it's like, oh, well, we have to taxi through here, so what are you going to do? I'm, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. I'm actually happy that happened because that means that gives me more motivation to create the airport. Again, a question of time. Train to have the yellow line on your right leg. It's interesting how I guess that might change based on the airplane you're flying. Uh, but yeah, yeah, I get you. I get you. Center line, center line is a state of mind in the sense that you get trained, I guess, or I guess maybe even type rated based on the plane you're flying to actually have the line, you know, like here or here or here. No, no, not like that. Something like that. So the runway here looks pretty nice. Runways usually aren't a problem for me in terms of the sim. It's just the apron texture treatments and the taxi lines. So, okay, so you keep the yellow line on your right leg. That's going to make driving interesting. It is. Okay. So, all right, all right. It's a it's a party. So, let me recap. We took a look at Fantasy of Flight, and right now we're taking a look at Lakeland Airport. I'm going to be doing some work for some scenery development coming up very soon, which means I need to move fast. Now, I'll go ahead and confess, tonight I'm not feeling the best, and I did want to make sure I streamed and kicked off the project because I do want to be diligent about starting these things. It, like, late winter creeps up on you really fast when you're not expecting it. So, to put it that way, the sooner I start, the better. So tonight was kind of like the supermarket or the window browsing phase. So I kind of know what I'm dealing with and what I need to implement or just kind of come up with. I'm also trying to figure out how to render, custom buildings more quickly. And I think the technique that I came up with for Higginsville is probably going to serve me nicely. Exporting those same buildings into 2020, for example, might take a little bit more work because I'm using a different version of Blender for them since I was working in 2024, but that's a different topic for a different day. In terms of developments, expect to see me working on the Lakeland area airports probably once to twice a week. And I'll slot in other airports as well, including my continued efforts for airport offerings for FS 2020, as well as my interest and focus on FS 2024. Actually, Sogan, I tried that before. You can rip photogrammetry from Google Earth. Well, yeah, I think I actually used Google Earth or something similar. And then you pop it in Blender. And then essentially what I did was kind of like the equivalent of taking a big pair of scissors and chopping off bits and pieces of the things around the edges so that it didn't actually try to export everything. Where I ran into problems was exporting those models and putting them in the sim. The problem with that was that the model was so low poly when I imported it into FS 2020 that it just looked bad. But the thing that I thought about using them for was not as scenery placement, but essentially kind of like a tracing guide. The certain size, the certain dimensions, I could potentially, you know, chop bits and pieces off and then make the actual objects they're meant to represent so that they actually look better and look size correct. Because scaling is something that I think I need to improve, or at least make sure I continue to do well if I happen to be doing it well. With that said, I haven't actually tried doing photogrammetric rips for a while. Okay, okay. OpenStreetMaps. That's actually something that I might look into, to be quite honest. It sounds like a way to potentially reduce some of the time to market, if you will. Okay. So what do I need to do at this point? I need to take a closer look at the requirements, probably start doing a bit of work offline. This is going to be a good week, I think, for feeling things out. I would be willing to believe that for DCS Slogan, for sure. Um, XB12 probably as well. And I'd be interested in kind of also seeing what they do for the exact way they use OpenStreetMaps. But I guess I have to look into that, especially if I want to do Explain 12 scenery development. But that is definitely a topic for a different day. I'm going to be taking a closer look at Lakeland. I'm going to be continuing my work at Fantasy of Flight. I'm going to try to figure out how to keep my brain working over the next few days because I'm still kind of like trying to pull myself back into a weekly schedule. And today was my first day back at work. I am going to try to really just rest up and get myself going. Tabletop, you've got the right idea. I'm going to be wrapping up very shortly anyway, so enjoy your night as well. Take care, my friend. God bless you. Folks, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I think I need to start figuring out I'm sorry, like schedule and stuff. I've said that a few times already, so it must be tired. And we'll see what we can do. We'll see how we can actually get this through. Oh, Nick, if you're looking for the Plymouth scenery, I have a pre-alpha version that I can hit you up with. Just let me know if you want to see it. I can connect with you. I think I can connect with you on Discord. See if you can find me there. If not, just whisper me after this, and then I'll hook you up with a copy, just so you can enjoy the current version. I'm supposed to finish it, but we'll see what schedule and upcoming projects have to say about that. For sure, for sure. Uh, um, Definitely appreciate having everybody here. You all make this worth it, and you definitely make the time special. If you feel so moved, I would just ask um, for support. If all you can afford to do is stop in and say hello, that's fine. I appreciate that. If you can follow me, please feel free to follow me. If you would like to consider it, I will be gracious towards any kinds of subscription support you can offer. And if you feel so moved, I have a buymeacoffee.com account. It's buymeacoffee.com/Digi123. I am leveraging the platform for one-time donations as you wish to do so, along with uh, membership subscriptions. I am trying to lay out the idea of member-based content and additional things that I do for the members on buymeacoffee.com. It's just going to take me a little bit of time to get everything figured out, but I've got some ideas. I've got some ideas potentially like, behind the scenes discussions or even videos that I can upload explicitly for folks that are curious about them, but I don't want to keep that content behind a paywall. I want to eventually share it with everybody. It's just that anybody that wants to see it, you know, pretty much almost the moment that it's available or close enough, you'll be in on the, early access, stuff like that. So those are things I have to think about. Also, would certainly appreciate the support to be able to continue to provide content for you and to get a good idea of what's going to work. But don't worry, this is something that I want to do, something that I enjoy doing. It's just a question of finding my rhythm, finding when I can do it and how I can do it to continue to provide great content for the community and to continue to develop airports. Now, a little bit of soul searching. Do I want to create international and huge regional airports? Right now, the answer is no. And even though I kind of fancy myself as doing that in the future, the problem is that that market's kind of saturated, and I'm also I haven't done any official big things like New York, New Jersey, like JFK, Newark, Orlando. Those are huge, and they take a team of people or a long time. I think it's time to be up a wall. Okay, okay. Um, I'll move the camera so you don't see it anymore. But provided I do work on Lakeland, and I do intend on starting up soon, that will be gone. You, you- I'm so sorry. I am indeed. But that will definitely be on my pick list as well because honestly, it can't be there. It just can't. Um, we were talking about content, yeah. So the second phase of my rebrand is understanding exactly what it is that I bring to the community. And I think over the past couple of years, The biggest thing that I've been trying to bring is bringing airports to people that haven't seen them, that enjoyed flying out of them. Small, municipal, really, really small regional airports that foster a sense of, oh man, like I fly out of here all the time when I have to like do business trips. This is great. Without trying to model LAX or, Doha or London Heathrow. You know, those are the airports that big companies try to do. And yeah, I kind of realized that I'm not going to be making a mondo amount of money if I make a whole bunch of, small airports. But who's to say I don't? Who's to say that doesn't actually transform the way that I and other people see flight simming? I think what's going to happen with me is that I'm going to be doing airport development, small airports, small but recognizable airports, dressing up areas that I like, working on airports that mean a lot to people, and then crafting content that supports that, giving you behind the scenes looks, giving you tips and tricks to create airports like that yourself, and creating experiences, especially in 2024, that hopefully will change the game, even if only a little bit. I'm trying to kind of get myself in a place where I can make that happen. But it is as the Lord God Almighty permits me. So if that's not in this plan, well, thank you, my friend, and welcome aboard. And also, I hope your stream is, continues to go well. If you wrapped up, welcome. And thanks so much. Folks, if you don't know my friend Peerluck, please drop what you're doing and go follow him right now. He is a great friend of the channel, a really hardworking and successful flight sim streamer, and somebody that enjoys flying in a sim, and just like all of us, gets frustrated when their add-ons doesn't work. Uh, I mean, I've had my issues with 2020 and 2024 and any sim out there, but again, a great friend of the channel. So go follow Peerluck right now. Peerluck, I am wrapping up for the night, but as you can tell, I'm starting on some airport scenery in Florida in the Lakeland region for a as yet undisclosed project. I'm on a bit of an NDA, but they said I can stream the creation of and the building of the models and the airports. So I am going to be sharing this with you, sharing the journey with you, and also trying to work on the other airports, finishing the projects that I have, and generally trying to be more present. Oh yeah, Nick, feel free to pop into Pure Lux streams. I do that on a fairly regular basis. And to be honest, again, a lot of this stuff is me tuning into friends and spending time with people and sharing life. This is what this stuff means to me. This is why creating airports or flying in a sim is more fun. So that's probably why I'm going to be around, Lord willing, for a bit longer at least. All right. Um, Let me go. I definitely need to go rest my throat, get some good ramen soup in me, and rest well. I intend to try to stream every night. It's possible tomorrow night might be a no audio stream while I just kind of grind out some work. I'm gonna try to do talkie streams again on Wednesday and or Thursday. Friday I will probably not be streaming just to get some Christmassy time in with the fam. And this weekend more of it. So this weekend I probably won't be streaming. Again, feel free to follow me on Discord. And it's going to be one of those moments where you get a rare opportunity to join in. I'm I'm a bit of a stinker like that, but I generally do not have a command for my Discord because I literally tend to keep the community fairly guarded because I like doing that. I like I like um, I like to keep that content there. And now it's not letting me copy the Discord link anymore. What is up with this? This this is kind of weird. That's really weird. Hold on. Right. Let me try this. Yep, no. No, it's not working. This is really, 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 really strange. But um is what it is. I will probably figure out how to get more folks in here at some point. I don't know why it's not working, but such is life. Anyways, from sunny Lakeland, Florida, and the default AI generated Lakeland terminal, I bid you a fond farewell this evening. If you are my Discord, and I hope you are, stay tuned for more content updates and discussion. One of the things I'm working on as well is a potential retro gaming podcast, which I'm going to be taking on with a friend of mine, Lord willing, in the year ahead. Something fun, something where we just like shoot the breeze and talk about things that really matter to us in terms of old games. And also, of course, continuing the journey that is scenery development for both FS 2020 and FS 2024. And I will also, of course, see you in various channels around the Twitchverse. But until next time, like I always like to say at the end of every stream, if you want true peace, you want the Prince of Peace, and that is Jesus Christ. My friends, have a great rest of your night. Enjoy your evening. You made it through Monday. Congratulations. Hopefully, the rest of this week is going to sail for you. And I'm pretty sure my week's going to go really fast. So, going to have a great night. Everybody, have a great night. Over Unicom 122.8. We'll see you, friends. Until next time. Bye.